During the planning and construction stages of our short film coursework, including all of our auxiliary tasks, we use a wide range of multimedia technology, as well as new media technology that would help us produce different kinds of work and ultimately would give us the best results going and come to our coursework. The first new piece, mainly of new technology that we used, was websites, and this included websites such as Blogger, Prezi, Blogster, Capsules, SlideShare, Facebook, YouTube, the font and script. Starting with Blogger, Blogger was our main source of producing our work and showing off our work. It allowed us to explain through text and also through embedding all from the different websites that we use, such as Blogster, for example, and putting all of these together to make a portfolio of our work. Prezi and Blogster were the sites that allowed us to present our work in different formats rather than using traditional PowerPoint or Publisher or Word, and it made it more interactive, more visually pleasing, and also allowed us to show it more in an interactive manner, so through clicking and through a multimedia form of PowerPoint, if you want to put it that way. Capsules and SlideShare was basically the same for presenting our PowerPoints and images that we took for our auxiliary tasks, as well as also auxiliary tasks and also for different PowerPoints for etc. YouTube, primarily it was to show our review videos so that we could show what we did during filming stages and also explain what we're going to do over the next few days whilst filming, and also to review what we could do next, for example. The font and script, basically that was also the same for PowerPoints, but also gave us a chance to look at different kinds of text for our auxiliary tasks and what it could apply to our genre that we were going for. After that, we next moved on to hardware. Hardware was basically all the stuff that we used with our hands, rather than going on just on the computer. A computer is a piece of hardware that we used primarily, which was the Macs and the PCs, which allowed us to go onto the websites, such as Blogger. During the filming stages, we mainly used a DSLR Canon camera, which I'm actually using now, and this helped us film all of the images for our film and all of the scenes, example, and it also allowed us for our auxiliary task, taking the images for the photo shoot, and of which we then moved on to when we go on to software. We also used studio and lighting during our filming, which allowed us for different lighting effects and also changing what the light of, because we'd have to rely on natural light if we didn't use it, and that's not very reliable, of course. We also used a tripod. Tripod is also what I'm using now, and also what we used to get some steady shots whilst filming, and also have to get different angles, for example. We also used a smartphone, which I'm looking at now, and that helped us looking on websites such as Facebook to get some audience research, and also to track our storyboard through the Blogger application. We also used a voice recorder for our voiceovers during our short film, which allowed more of a narrative to be created, and which overall made our overall film better and more understandable, rather than it just being a complete anti-narrative with no structure at all. Finally, we moved on to software, which is primarily all on the computer, on the Macs, and first of all we used Safari, which allowed us to go on all of our websites that I talked to you about earlier. We also used Photoshop and Final Cut Pro, which are our main sources for when we were editing our film, and also for when we were editing images from our photo shoot to then put onto our auxiliary tasks, which we also made our post up on Photoshop. And InDesign, it's basically the same as Photoshop, but instead we use this for our double page spread. We could edit pictures in Photoshop and then transferred it over to InDesign and made a complete structured double page spread there. We also used GarageBand, which helped us a little bit with our voiceovers for our short film. It's just so we could add it on and then put it onto Final Cut Pro, where we could have our echo effects, for example. PowerPoint and Word were briefly used. Word was basically used for a script whilst we were doing our review videos, so we knew what we were talking about, whilst PowerPoint allowed us to present our work in a different way and just go through it step by step, and also when we presented our initial ideas to the class about our film. So that was basically all the media technology we used during the course of this, and it's helped us be very informative about our film and what we did during the planning and research stages, whilst it's also helped us create a different style of short film, which was what we were going for in the first place. And overall it's helped us create lots of interactive pieces of work that appeal to us and the examiner, hopefully, and overall I think it's been very successful.